Little lamb gone broke, dancing in the moonlight glow. Little lamb gone rogue, where will this rebel go? Skipping through the fields, no shepherd in sight. Rebel heart beating strong under the stars at night. Little lamb gone rogue.
Hello my little lambs, welcome back to the channel. I am your host Hillary B, and today we are looking at some TikTok content. I came across this content creator's page. His name is Jordy Unofficial 2.0, and the video is of him explaining the straw that broke the camel's back on why he left the organization. But the interesting thing about this content is the question he posed to his family. And these are just some of the examples and responses that our families give us when they decide that you do not no longer want to associate yourself as a witness. And as you guys know, in my previous video that I explained that I am not officially out to any of my family. I have family members that know and acknowledge, and they can tell by my behavior, about my lack of attendance at the hall and participation, that I don't want to be a part of it. But I've never officially came out and said the words to someone that is actively a witness, keyword actively a witness, that I no longer want to be a part of it. This is just part one of my series of interacting and reacting to JW or ExJW content. We're going to listen to this young man's story, and we'll come back for my commentary.
So today is the day that I decided to let the elders know that I don't want to be a witness anymore. And the nail in the coffin was the last interaction I had with my family, asking them if they would regret not having a relationship with me anymore if that end that they were waiting for never came. And their response was their hope is sure, and they're not changing their minds, their stance is not going to change, and that I left them. When in reality, I didn't leave them. I left their God that I don't believe in anymore, and their organization, not them. Just because it encompasses their entire personality and world, does not mean that I left them. I still love my family. And I can respect if they want to stay inside of that religion because it's their choice. But they claim to respect my choice, but them respecting my choice means not talking to me. That doesn't make sense. You respect someone by cutting them off? That doesn't make any sense. Yeah, we're letting you live your life, but we don't want to talk to you. There's a disconnect there. There's a disconnect. Me respecting your choice to stay in that religion, I will still talk to you about any given thing, about any everyday thing. But
see right there where we respect people's choices to stay a witness. It doesn't make me look at you bad. If that was a choice that you made, that is okay. I respect your choice. And they might even say that they respect your choice to do it, but that means you no longer existing in their life until you come back. To me, I feel like sometimes that's like a carrot, that's like bait. That's like putting a carrot in front of a donkey and motivating him hey, I'll give you this carrot if you come do what I want you to do. And that's not how that works. Okay, let's keep on going.
me living my life the way I want to with the free will that I have, you can't talk to me, and that's your respecting my decision. That doesn't make sense. It really doesn't. And then, of course, anytime that I talk about, excuse me, the fact that they don't speak to me, first of all, they don't even answer the question directly because I said, would you regret it? There wasn't really an answer to that. And then anytime I bring this stuff up, my mom thinks that I'm blaming the religion. No, I'm just saying, I'm asking you to take accountability for the fact that you would cut me off for someone invisible that you cannot see, and some hope that countless people before you waited for and have died and cut their family off and never saw that end come. What if you're wrong? What if you're wrong? Are you willing to forego your offspring that came out of your body for a possibility, for a hypothetical, for a dream, for a hope? A direct question, they always answer in the way that they've been taught to answer. They don't answer from their own mind. And they think it's their own mind because that's how they've been indoctrinated to believe and to think. And that's the only answers they know how to give.
If you would like to finish the rest of his story, just go over to TikTok. Again, his name is Jordy Unofficial 2.0. The rest of it explains, what he believes now. He elaborates more on his relationship with his brother, and he brings up how letting go of his family, he had to do it for his mental peace, his mental health. And that is a very brave thing. A lot of us aren't brave enough to step out on a limb and do that. As you know, I'm a PMO, and right now I'm just fading out. Everyone has a different method. Some people have the direct approach. Some people do it suddenly. And some people eventually just stay in it and suffer doing something that they don't want to do anymore. So shout out to this young man for standing up for himself and being able to let go, even though the odds meant losing out on his family. Shout out to you. So this just happened. I went to TikTok and his update popped up on my For You page. What do you know? But this is an update to the young man from previous Jordy 2.0. I guess his name has changed. I'm not sure. But this is also from his page. So when I downloaded the video, this is what I got. JSV 0 or 061. I'm sorry if I got that wrong. But yeah, this popped up. And this is a month after letting the elders know that he no longer wanted to be a Jehovah's Witness and are no longer talking to his family. Sometimes grief hits different. It hit after time. I remember when a friend of mine passed away, and when it happened, the funeral, I did not cry. Same thing happened with my aunt. The day it happened, funeral, I did not cry. But months afterwards, I did. And it hit me hard. So everyone handles their grief differently. In the video before, he seemed okay, nonchalant. But now he is making a video responding to the aftermath a month after not having his family. Let's check it out.
So I'm not one to cry on camera at all, but I figured this is a good support group. The former JW community, ExJW. I had shut off all of my emotions. Before I left, I just didn't allow myself to be sad. I've just started feeling really down today, even though the sun is out and it's nice outside. And even though it's only been a month since I haven't spoken to my family, I spoke to my grandparents today, and I haven't told my grandma that I'm not a witness anymore. Though I'm not disfellowshipped or disassociated, I haven't told her that, and I don't know if I'm going to. My grandpa's not a witness. Both of my grandpas are not witnesses. And my, I guess, step-grandma is not a witness either. And they've been supportive and comforting. I don't know how well my grandma would handle that information. She asked me how the memorial was, and I was just like, I kind of just lied and said, oh, it was nice. It was fine. I didn't go. And I haven't been going to meetings. She asked me how my ministry was. I was like, oh, it's fine. The typical answer. And then they asked me how my family was. And I said, I haven't talked to them in a while. And they were like, oh, okay, tell them we said hi. I'm like, can't do that. I've tried to tell them how I'm doing and say that I still love them despite my choices and, And part of the thing that sucks is when you are raised in this religion that sets you up for failure by guaranteeing that your family will cut you off if you ever change, it's so difficult to come out of that and just lose your entire circle of friends and family. And some of them, I'm not surprised that they were I think some people are eager to cut you off if they maybe don't get along with you. And I'm happy. That's fine. Some of y'all I didn't really like anyway. But, and I just had to fake it and power through for Christian brotherhood. But my family, it's just like, it's hard when your family just doesn't speak to you. And I live in walking distance from my little brother's house. And I know where my brother lives. I know where my parents live, obviously. They live still in the same area. And we don't speak. And I've had to accept it. I don't want to accept it, but I forced myself to accept it. But I read a comment on Twitter that somebody else said, you have to mourn the dad that you had as if he died. And it's making me emotional all over again. Like, I don't want to have to mourn my parents because our relationship is gone. And I mean, just imagine if I took my own life and they didn't have another opportunity to speak to me again, and that they were waiting for never came, and I was never resurrected. How much regret would they feel? But I'm not going to do that. I have no interest in doing that because I'm happy. And it's a shame that I'm happy without them, but I would like to be happy with them still in my life. And regardless of what their beliefs are about God or my sexuality is my sexuality.
So if you haven't guessed it by now, yes, he is a gay male. I looked through his TikToks and I've seen a few of them that confirmed what I already suspected. But shout out to this young man for coming out and explaining to his family and the elders that he no longer wanted to participate. Listen, if him being a gay man inside the Jehovah's Witness organization wasn't enough to make someone stop talking to you, just not being a Jehovah's Witness by yourself, there probably was no need for him to even explain to his family his sexuality. And maybe he did. I did not go that far into his videos to see if he did. But just saying that you're not a Jehovah's Witness will get you shunned anyway. So shout out to this young man for being brave, because, you know, I mean, he got hit with a double whammy. Being a gay person inside of Jehovah's Witness, it's got to be hard. Let's keep watching.
It can't be changed. And this hope that we were raised to believe in has not come. It hasn't come. Unfortunately, I would love there to be a paradise with good people. But if it involves worshiping the God of the Bible, I can't do that, because I don't trust the God of the Bible anymore. He set this whole thing up for failure by making a stupid test that was unnecessary to begin with. He could have simply told them what was good and bad, and maybe even let them make mistakes, just like parents do with their kids, good parents. Let them live and learn. But no, they had to be tested from the jump, unlike the angels. The whole story just bugs me, but that's a topic for another day. But it's just, today's been hard for me, and maybe I just need to get out. I need to get out of the house and talk to my friends.
And that's the end of that video. His page, since then, he has made other videos, and I have not yet looked at all of them. I looked at some of them, and he does do a lot of talking about religion. So as you can see, his tag name is JSV061. That's what I want to say it is. If you feel like going and checking out this young man's page, go right ahead. Again, it is not an easy thing to come out to your parents, to your family, everything that you know. It's your community. And you have to start all over. And some of us are in our mid-30s, late 20s. We started off as children in this religion, and it's very hard to be yourself. I am very fortunate to have some of the friends and families that I do have. And as I've said before, you have to do what you need to do to protect your mental peace. If coming out, telling everybody, and knowing that you will lose everybody, possibility, if you know the risk and you have a community out there are a lot of ex-Jehovah's Witnesses out there that are willingly to embrace you. Sometimes you might have to listen to some other people's content just to find your own sense of self, find your own community. Some of us has to be quiet. But however you choose to handle your situation, just know that regardless, there's going to be a ride. It's going to be a ride. There's going to be some sort of suppression, because if you choose to stay, you can't be yourself. If you choose to leave, then you're going to lose your community. But let me know how you feel about this subject in the comments below. Like, share, subscribe. And as always, thank you so much for listening. And remember, you're not alone, and together we can figure this out. Peace and love to all my little lambs out there.
Little lamb gone broke, dancing in the moonlight glow. Little lamb gone rogue, where will this rebel go? Skipping through the fields, no shepherd in sight. Rebel heart beating strong under the stars at night. Little lamb gone rogue, dancing in the moonlight glow. Little lamb gone rogue, where will this rebel go?